just like we're done before we even started. So if this is the end now, baby, know that I gave it my all. I believe in us, I won't give up on you. I will be holding on for life. Hope you believe in us, please don't give up on me. At least give me a try. 'Cause you're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing that I've ever had. You're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing. 'Cause you're the As I'm walking to your place, I'm shaking. I am picturing the words in my mind.
Right guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have the IEZWAY M365 Pro, but I think it's also called the EZ6. I know what you're thinking, another Xiaomi clone, but stop being snobs. It's a brilliant bit of kit, this. Brilliant. It's so well made. So impressed. It's got a really cool stem design that I like. Yes, it is a clone, but it's really good for what it is. And it's cheap. Very, very cheap. It's a great entry scooter. You know, if you're thinking about getting into e-scooters, it's probably, you know, your best choice because it's 250 quid. That means it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the Xiaomi, and it pretty much does the same job. I mean, it's got a 10.4 amp hour battery, it's 350 watts. I think it peaks probably about 500, but I haven't seen the controller yet. This does 20 mile an hour right out of the box. No 15.5 mile an hour bullshit. 20, and it does do 20 really easily as well. As far as I know, it's a 10S 3P. It's around 400 watt hours. I mean, what's the point of spending loads of money on a scooter when you're not sure whether you're gonna like it? I mean, this ticks all the boxes for what you want an electric scooter to do to get from point A to point B. And let's be honest, with what's going on at the minute, because we don't know what the legislation is, I think this is your best choice. If you go for the Cougar M4, that's probably too big and that's going to be too powerful. When legislation does come along, you're not going to be able to use them. You know, and they're probably going to be quite hot on it as well, picking out the faster scooters. So if you're on something like this, you're going to get away with it. And I think probably this is the better scooter to get if you're thinking long term. Because we all know these powerful scooters are they'll have their day. They will have their day, and you're going to be left with things like this. So you may as well get one of these now. And let's face it, it's basically a free-for-all. And all the people with all these high-powered scooters are taking the piss at the minute, including myself, using them on the roads because, you know, in the eyes of the law, they're all illegal, aren't they? You know, it doesn't matter whether you've got a powerful one or not. You're still probably going to get it taken away from you if you get stopped. So I think it's best to probably start cheap. You know, if you do lose anything, it's, you know, it's low cost rather than losing something that's thousands of pounds. Yeah, so when I think when these are made legal, this will be your type of scooter you want, because you won't really be able to ride much else. Power levels anyway. Saying that, this does 20 mile an hour and not 15.5, so you know, you probably get away with it on this. So yeah, let's look at the way this thing folds. And I was really impressed with this when I got this out of the box. You've literally got one button there. You click that in, fold down that latch, and that's it. You've got like a little folding catch there, like on the Xiaomis. So to fold back up, you just reverse it, and literally that's it. Easy as that. you couldn't get much easier. I mean, the stem really was solid, really solid when I first got it out of the box. So I thought, this is going to last. So I took up, because you've got solid tyres as well, the ride's really rough. So I thought I'd take it down a really bumpy road, try and work that stem loose, and lo and behold, I could actually work that stem loose. But that was going over, I was really hammering it. If you look at this catch here, basically it uses this as kind of like a, it's like a steady. It uses this bit here and this bolt to stiffen the stem up. So all I did was, if you can get a spanner on this and just loosen it, this bolt here, basically what that does is tighten up on there, and that's what gives you your stiffness. So that's, if it ever does work its way loose, you tighten that bad boy up, well, loosen it should I say. So then when you put it on there, it holds that stem in place solid. So it's really easy to tighten the stem up on this. I mean, you could put a really slim spanner in here, but what I did was took this circlip, the end of this circlip off, pulled that out and just got a socket in there to do it. So I didn't have nothing narrow enough to get into that groove. But saying that, if the stem does work its way loose, very easy to tighten. I mean, that's literally the easiest stem I've ever tightened. So obviously the tyres, now they're solid, which means you're never going to get a puncture. But what it does mean is it'll be very bumpy. Say very bumpy, it's not that bumpy, but it's do you know what I mean? It's good enough. It's good enough. As long as you don't take it sort of like off-roading like I did the first time, just to try and see how well that stem would cope. As long as you don't do that, I think you're going to be fine on solids. One thing though, just be wary with the solids in the wet, because they're a bit more slippery than normal tyres, but it's the price to pay for 0 punctures. If you ever try getting one of these wheels off and getting the tyre off it, it's a pain in the bloody arse. So the brakes are the same as the Xiaomi's. You've got a regen brake at the front, and you've got a 120mm disc with mechanical caliper on the rear, and it stops really good. Really, really good. I mean, it's one of these calipers that you'll always need to constantly tighten up as you lose your cable tension, but you know, for a little scooter like this, it stops it really well, and I really do like the regen. So you get an app with this. I mean, I don't know whether I'm going to show you it or not, because it's fairly basic, but it comes with a 0 start. You can turn push start on. You know, you can control from your phone what speeds you're doing if you've got it linked up. You can control what drive modes you're in. I mean, there's not really too much to mess around with on the app, but one thing it does do is it logs your trips, and I like that. On this you've got 3 drive modes, just like the Xiaomi. Oh, let's take that off. Nice. Lovely. I saved that for the video. So same, it was pretty much the same display as the Xiaomi. I'll say exactly the same. Eco, drive, and sport. Sport will get you 20. Eco, I don't know, what is that, like 7 or 8 mile an hour, and then drive is like probably about 14. We're going to test it in a sec. If you want your lights on, double tap the button. So you got light front and rear, and also you got your brake light, which is pretty handy. It is a flashing type. I think when they were selling these before, these did about 15.5 mile an hour, but I think the recent ones now do 20, and I can confirm that is 20, and it does it fairly quick, to be honest, for a little scooter. So basically it's an Aovo Pro. It's exactly the same, you know, it's probably built in the same factory, but it's probably about 30 quid cheaper. So, you know, what do you go for? You know, obviously they're letting me review the scooter. If you order these, they come from Germany, from a German warehouse, and they take about 4 days. That's how long mine took anyway. I thought that was pretty good. In 4 days you can have your scooter. Not sure how that would work with sending it back if you had any problems. It probably would need to go back to Germany, but you know, I don't think you're going to have a lot go wrong with it, to be honest. One thing I have noticed, I've lost one of these little rubber grips. So the range, you've got to think about this scooter now does 20 mile an hour, so your range it isn't going to be like if you're caning it at 20 all the time. I'm going to guess probably about 12 to 13 miles flat out on the scooter. So if you take it easy, you're probably going to get 15, 16, 17, something like that. You know, so it's a 10.5 amp hour battery, so it's fairly good compared to its competitors. It's going to be no-name cells, I would imagine. You know, generic Chinese cells, but for 250 quid, what do you want? One thing as well, what I would say is, try not to buy it from eBay or Amazon. Now, it's not just because I'm going to get a little kickback from anything that you buy with my code. It's because I've noticed that a lot of people are drop shipping these scooters from the IEZWAY website. Now, on the IEZWAY website, they're about 250 quid. But what's happening is, basically, you've got people on Amazon that are drop shipping these from the IEZWAY website for 50 quid more. So, you know, maybe buy it from their website, and I'll leave a link in the description for the scooter, and you know, I'll give you a discount code as well, which I'm not sure how much that gives you actually. I mean, I've got to check it, but so I reckon you can get 10% off. You know, you might be looking at about 230, 240 quid for, you know, a 20 mile an hour scooter that does 15 miles. So in my eyes, you know, what's better than that? I don't think you can get anything better than that. So to sum it up, you get a whole lot of scooter for your money. You know, you get decent-ish range. You know, it's got a really nice folding mechanism. Simple, very, very simple, but works really well. A basic, generic sort of electric scooter. Yes, it's a Xiaomi clone, but like I said before, stop being snobs. This will do the job just as well. And anyone saying, oh, M365, Xiaomi M365 is better. Okay, yeah, the design of the controller and stuff like that is better, but I'd say this knocks the socks off the Xiaomi stems. Definitely. Especially with being able to easily tighten that stem, which was a winner for me. So yeah, I can't rate it enough. It's a cool little machine, and I will be using this a lot. You get a 2 amp charger with this, which means it will charge up in about 5 hours, which is, you know, that's quite good for a little battery. Right, I think now I've covered most things. Let's take it for a ride. Oh, what are we gonna go? Should we go in eco first, just to see? Whoa, it zips off. It zips off. So yeah, the app does allow you to change from kilometers to miles per hour straight away. So I would recommend doing that. It's very easy to connect. You do need an account, but once you've got the account, this should connect really easy. So eco mode 9. We're doing 9 miles an hour. Get out of the way, pigeon. So I think I'm going to put it in sport for this, because it might give us a few more amps getting up this hill. Impressed. Right, should we try the top speed? Let's go. Downhill, there's a little bit of a start. Oh shit, we're at 20 already. Ooh. So there you go. $19, $20, actually. Well, let's fucking make sure this is 20, because I don't like scooters that lie. Let me get my app out. Let's just see. So we haven't got no way of holding this, but we shall soon find out. Just wait for this dude to get out of the way. Well, I'm acting like I own the place. Oh yeah, 2016. Oh, says it'll do 20, but it's only doing 14. Okay, so this is safe then. This is why you have to check, because that only clocked 15 now. A lot of people inflate their numbers, and it looks like, oh shit. I never thought to check it. I thought it felt like 20 miles an hour when I drove it the first time, but obviously not. Ooh. 19, this is saying. It's handling these quite well. Right, let's put this away now, because we know it doesn't do 20. But I suppose, you know, I'll have to have a word with them about that. Yeah, you can't be saying it does 20 miles an hour and it actually doesn't. But handles these. That's what I mean. It's pretty good. So yeah, apart from that issue of it not doing what it's supposed to do, yeah, I don't think it's not too bad considering. Gets you around quick. I would rather it said the true speed, but you know, at least if you get this, you know you're not actually going to go faster than 15 miles an hour. Oh, what's this going on? Oh, what are they doing? Ooh, I think this is pretty good. Like, it handles it really well. Brake's good. I like the regen. Accelerates fairly well as well, but I'm only on 2 bars of battery at the minute. I've been using it. Yeah, like I say, apart from it only doing 15 miles an hour and not 20 like it was advertised, despite that, it runs really well. You know, it's like the handlebars, everything. It's a little scooter, isn't it? You know, you don't need big wide handlebars on a little scooter. Although I'm thinking about putting the extensions on this, you know, that you can buy to make the handlebars slightly wider. There you go, 18, 19, which we know is not real. I swear at first, when I first rode this, it felt like 20 miles an hour, but it must have been in my head. Like I said, I get a bit sceptical about people claiming speeds on their scooters. You know, oh, this is a 50 mile an hour scooter, but it only does 42. And it's annoying. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, it's getting a little bit rough over this. Ooh, yeah, so you go. This is the stuff you just have to put up with. You know, you can't do a lot about it. This is the type of stuff that will make your stem. Oh, look out. Do we dare? Do we dare? Are we going to get splashed? If I do, it's not the end of the world, is it? Woo! See, it's nice for this. And this is really enjoyable. I think just getting out in general is enjoyable, isn't it? Rather than being cooped up in your house. But yeah, this is what this does. It gives you your freedom. It gives you freedom. You don't have to rely on buses and stuff like that. The sooner they bloody legalise these, the better. Because they're taking the piss, really, aren't they? Not legalising them, because what harm do they do? Not a lot. You know, you're going to get accidents on any form of transport, aren't you? Thank you! Yeah, you're going to get accidents. Oh shit, Sam. Forgot my little skinny wheeled scooter. It did quite well. Whew. Yeah, be careful of deep sand. So, to sum up, it's a cheap 15-mile-an-hour scooter that's quite well built. You know, it's built sort of like the same as the Xiaomi's. I say that the controller and everything is different, but apart from that, it's, you know, it's got solid tyres. You ain't going to get no punctures either. It's like, probably, I would say this is going to be a maintenance-free scooter, and apparently it's got quite a good splash rating as well, so you know, you ain't got to worry about getting it wet, or, you know, don't get it soaking wet. You say that to people, oh, you can get it wet, you could dip it in fucking lakes and shit. But yeah, it just splash resistant, not waterproof. Oh, yeah, this is the type of road I'm on about. But I'm thinking maybe like that stem probably won't loosen again, because I don't think that stem will loosen again now it's been tightened up. Just maybe there's a bit of factory give in it. Do you know what I mean? So. Right guys, I think I've ridden this enough now, and I am going to go. And like I said, if you want to purchase this scooter, you can do from the IEZWAY website. It's a weird name in it, but you know, you can purchase it from the IEZWAY website, and there'll be a bit of a discount on it as well. You know, give you an extra. I'm not sure how much the percentage, like I say, how much the percentage offer will be, but you know, it'll be better than zero, won't it? Right guys, I'll see you later in the next one, and it's going to be an M4 Pro one, because I want to get back out on that, because I would like to say that's probably it's my favourite scooter. It's not as portable as this, but it's definitely my favourite. See you later guys.